O'clock, motion over.
So move.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
So meeting of the Acushnet Finance Committee, Wednesday, June 5th, 2019. This meeting is being audio and video recorded. The first item on the agenda this evening is request for interdepartmental transfers. With that, I will turn it over to our Finance Director, Julie.
So I gave you guys, you should each have a copy of it. Basically between May and July 15th, we're able to do transfers between departments to cover any deficits that we might have. It's a little different from the reserve fund transfers. And this year, we're looking at doing 2 rounds. This is the first round, and then the second round after, or either at the end of June or the beginning of July. I prefer beginning of July because that gives us a better understanding of where we actually ended up with our expenses. But we know we'll have 2 rounds. This first round, I asked department heads to give me things that they needed more immediately. So if you look, we have 2 requests from the highway department that they need money to go into the CMAS account. We have a request for money to go into the town council account, a request for town buildings, and then each of like the enterprise funds, sewer, water, and golf, had requests for items. So if you'd like, I can go through them one by one, just looking at where we're transferring money from, where we're moving it to, and a quick description of the reason why we need a transfer. So the first one is requesting to move money from the highway department salaries from permanent laborers, $1,100, into the CMAS salaries for permanent positions, $1,100. This was partly because of the DPW contract not being completed when we did the budget for FY19. So they're going to be short about $1,100. They're pretty close to being at 0 right now in that account. The next one is moving again from highway department permanent laborers salaries, $27,000 into the CMAS account for curbside pickup, which is the recycled removal, for $27,000, and this is to cover the increase to the contractual cost for curbside pickup. When we did the budget for FY19, I know that there were discussions about the curbside pickup number, and we went with the number thinking that we may not have enough and we might need a transfer, and it looks like we did need the transfer. So the $27,000 is an estimate. We may be coming back again at the end of June saying we need a little bit more, but that was the best guess for right now.
Julie, did they have a date on that pickup at all yet? A date for the
next bulk item we're talking about?
Oh, the bulky item pickup?
Yeah. No date on it yet?
No, but there is a program, if you want to do it sooner, there's a program that is now offered by Waste Management, by a new carrier now that Howland's gone. Howland was bought out.
I drove around, I see a few bulky items
Yeah.
out front of the
Yeah,
house.
you can call and you can make an arrangement for $28. They'll pick up anything you put
Oh,
out
okay.
on the sidewalk.
All right.
So if you want to get rid of a couch or
Yeah, ahead of
something
time.
like that, you can call them and make the arrangement.
Okay.
They'll pick it right up off the curb.
Very good, thank you.
Okay.
The third transfer we have is to move money from the selectmen department The line item is the salaries clerical for $10,000, and move that into the town council legal expenses line item. We had 5 contracts that were negotiated this year. Our town council legal expenses were pretty large. So the $10,000 is what we're estimating that we would need to get through the end of the year. That budget is currently at negative $200, so it went slightly over already.
All these contracts settled?
Everything's done.
Everything's settled.
Yep.
Good job.
But just in time to start all over.
Yeah. You get like a 6-month break.
Yeah.
The next transfer is to move money from the streetlight energy account in the amount of $4,500, and move it into the town buildings additional equipment line item. And this is a special request Jim was looking at. He was working with the company that we got the charging stations for the electric vehicles from, and he got a grant to help fund 3 new charging stations. He got a discount on them and then got a grant to cover half of the costs. I have $4,500 in here. That was based on an estimate, and he got a new estimate that I think is slightly less, but I kept the original amount in there just in case there were any other costs that came along with it. But I believe these would be going in at the police station.
Police, library, and, library.
2 at the police?
And the schools.
Okay.
2 at the police, 2 at the library, 2 at the schools.
These are for town vehicles specific?
They can be really anybody's electric car.
Yeah.
Part of the terms of the grant are we provide free charging stations for a year. After that, we can turn on the meter, so to speak. So people who have an electric car have a little chip in their key, and you wave it in front of the box, and it just charges that person. But the cost of charging a car is like, 53 cents an hour.
Yeah.
So for me, the grant is a great way to get the money. Nobody's abusing it yet. We do occasionally see an Acushnet resident charging up here at Parting Ways. And that's what it's there for, and those are the terms of the grant. So, but the cost to the town is negligible, and the benefit to the environment measurable. So I think you're gonna see more and more and more electric cars.
The ones at the police department, are you gonna get more when we go to the hybrid vehicles?
Well, the hybrid vehicles don't actually use a charger,
Oh, they don't.
but you'll see that, and Bob, you probably know more about this than I do, but I would say within the next round of cars, we'll have a choice of an electric vehicle. The first electric SUV is now out. Audi's got it. And the range is phenomenal. The speed, the pickup, the carry weight, great. I don't see any reason why you won't. The Los Angeles police are testing the all-electric Ford Explorer. So I think within the next 3-4 budget cycles, you're going to see all-electric police vehicles. So we might as well install them for free. I mean, the chargers for free while we're getting the grants. So.
The next transfer we have is within the sewer enterprise fund. So they had some excess money in their engineering fees, $6,000, legal expenses, $1,500, and R&M vehicles, $2,800. And they are looking to move that money up into salaries. Superintendent, $50, permanent laborers, overtime, $450. And the bulk of that is the permanent labor line item. And I know when we did the budget for FY19, we had budgeted for an additional employee from DPW, and it was fully budgeted out of the highway department. And then when they filled the position, they realized they actually needed the work in water and sewer. So both water and sewer are on this list for salaries because of that employee who is now fully funded from water and sewer. And again, that's why above we had extra money in the highway labor line item. So it's all kind of balancing out.
So it doesn't come a problem of, like, as we were talking about a reoccurring expense, that it's funded complete for next year, so we're not
Right.
facing,
Yep.
thank you,
Yeah. And so similar to the sewer, the water has they're requesting $36,100 from their expense line for the New Bedford water bills to be moved into $100 into the superintendent line item, $33,000 into permanent laborers, and $3,000 into the overtime. Again, mostly because of that one position. These are also part of the union, so I know that some of the adjustment is also due to the union agreement not being planned for in the budget for FY19. So it's a little bit of that as well. And then finally, the golf course is the last one we have. And they are mainly moving money from their capital outlay section, the equipment leases for $40,000 and capital projects for $15,240. Those are in that bottom section for capital outlay that we voted on separately before, but for this FY20 budget, we got rid of it because it kind of made more problems. So they're moving money from that section and also from their salary section, maintenance employees, $20,000, into various maintenance expense line items. The pesticides for $27,345, R&M equipment for $27,895, fringe benefits for $3660, energy for $2,000, rentals and leases for $3,400, R&M irrigation for $940, gasoline for $6,700, seed and top dress for $1,800, and supplies for $1,500. And so the reason for the transfer is the capital outlay piece of it. When we did the budget for 19, I believe the board was going back and forth as to whether they were going to do any leases or if they were going to work on the current equipment they have and put more into maintenance. So that's the bulk of the transfers, because they actually didn't do any leases. They decided to keep the equipment they have and spend the money on maintaining it. And they also had additional funds in their salary line items for the maintenance employees, I think because of how the year turned out with the weather. So this was the list that I got from Steve Tibbles, who does all of the maintenance work, where he would like to have it all segregated out according to his needs. And that's all we have for interdepartment transfers. I know we do have a reserve fund transfer as well.
Any questions from anyone? Cut and dry.
I'll make
An excellent presentation as far as clarity.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted.
So on the round that we have at the end of the year, you're gonna see more small amounts for salaries, I think, because like that, we didn't have all the unions negotiated for the end of the year. So even departments that may have had one clerical union person might be like $80 off because of the raise. So it'll be a little bit more lengthy, I think, in terms of the number of departments we'll have because of the unions, but I don't think it'll be that crazy of an amount.
Next item we have.
Need you voted. Can you vote it? Vote the trigger, yeah? I'm sorry. Gotta pay attention.
Well, you want to revote?
Need a second opinion?
You challenging the vote?
All right, just fell asleep there.
Next item we have is a reserve fund request from Fire EMS for the replacement of the macadam apron in front of Station 2. The cab is broken and disrepair, stones are protruding, drainage is a problem. The weight of the pumper trucks up there have not been cranked and surfaced. Work includes rebuilding the base of the pavement so that the replacement will last a little longer. And the request is for $6,000, submitted by Chief Gallagher. I was up there yesterday, and there's no doubt in my mind that this area needs to be
Is that blacktop?
It's blacktop, yeah.
see what happens. The water runs down and stays, and then,
Oh, yeah. It freezes.
And the base wasn't really set properly in the first place, so the rocks are coming through, and then you run a 500 gallon pumper over it, and it just makes it worse.
Oh,
Yeah, that's cement right out.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Right out.
Second.
yeah. I don't know if the concrete would be better for the weight of the pumper and for the matches. I'm not sure.
Dan felt it. We asked both ways, and Dan felt the macadam was a better
Yeah,
choice.
Better than the cement.
Yeah.
Because I know the cement in front of the place over here, the Tilcon, where it is,
Yeah.
that lasts maybe a year at a time.
Well, it spalls because of the salting.
Well, when they come out of there with the heavy weight and
Yeah.
return,
Turn,
it,
Yeah.
it just scuffs the whole thing up.
And-
It's already, within a year, it's
Yeah.
already,
Yeah. And probably the biggest problem, frankly, is with the concrete is the salt that gets thrown on it, and it just goes right through it.
oh, yeah, so, they have other ice melts now that.
Well,
that don't-
shouldn't, but that's not what we use on the
Yeah,
ground.
Yeah, I know, well,
It's a lot more than the rock salt. Motion made, seconded. Any other comments? All in favor?
I-
Opposed? So voted. Takes the request for interdepartmental transfers, and that's the only budget request from the reserve fund. The next item of business, the old business. The old business to bring forward. New business, we have the request for a discussion of remote participation for the meetings. We have some information passed out,
Has the Board of Selectmen addressed it at all, come up with a policy? Or?
They haven't. They would have to go to the board to get them to adopt the policy for remote participation, and then the committee has to vote to accept it as well.
So it's basically now just really selecting to establish a policy, to
Correct.
create a policy.
Yep.
but they had discussion on it?
No, they haven't.
They haven't.
No, I think it's time to introduce that discussion. I'll bring it up to the chairman. I
Have
think
there
that-
been any other committees talking?
No one else has asked for it, but this committee that, would probably lend itself, because you got like Sue Delgado coming from Boston during tax season, so remote participation from her might be very good, because she's in the car, she's got nothing to do but listen to us, so.
Same thing with
They
Mr.
should
St.
crack up on the
Lawrence.
way home. In other words, if
Long
I'm
as
at
you're not
Joe's
in the
Bar
car.
and Grill having a sandwich,
Yeah,
and decide not to come to the meeting,
yeah,
I just turn my phone on. or-
yeah, that's not what it's for, sorry.
That's different enough.
And you do have a
Casey, by the way.
limit to how many people can be in on a remote, meaning
Well, that's what
I
I'm saying.
can't be talking to,
Have a whole group of people,
yeah,
you know, decide.
that could be a problem.
So I couldn't participate remotely from the Bruins game.
That'd be a little tough.
You know,
Mr. St. Ange also has the same, he travels and
Same thing.
would be the same situation
Sure.
as Mr. Delgado.
I think it's a great idea.
Let me give this some thought, and when it comes to public money, and finance, and we're talking, the presentation we just had, when it comes to taxpayers' money, anything short of clear transparency can create some issues that
Mhm.
that are negative. I can see sometimes remote participation when you're dealing with bylaws or something like that. But when you're dealing with with people's money, this is, we should be as clear and open, and with the opportunity of full public discourse. And so the taxpayers would in turn know that their investment would be clearly being scrutinized and deliberative measures, to a point that it's they feel comfortable and confident that their money is in good hands. So therefore, maybe there needs to be more discussion rather than us voting down, maybe a motion to table until the selectmen deal with this, issue and have a discussion.
There's really not much that we can do until the selectmen. I mean, my perspective on the thing is that I don't think that remote participation would be something that this committee would do right now, like tonight, because we have a quorum. But with the volume of meetings that we have and the difficulty sometimes we have in getting a quorum here, I think it would be beneficial.
In some cases.
To at least have it in place, have it approved and have a policy
When you
in
gotta
place.
use it, you got it.
Yes, sir, exactly. Not that it would be used if we have a quorum, obviously we wouldn't need it.
Yeah. But, the other side of the coin is, literally, I could set a computer up facing this direction, and if that person could Skype in, you could see the face, you could hear the voice,
Max Hedgerow.
and they could see the meeting. So, yeah, yeah. I mean, so you do get the openness. It isn't me talking to a cell phone, it's me talking to a screen. And we've got a new interactive screen coming that will allow multiple remote participation with video screen up, so you would see.
I mean, it's
I think you want to
2020,
limit the numbers that
corporations
could do it.
use it. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that it's time to drag Acushnet into 20th century.
I don't think it's as bad as, I don't envision it as, oh, there's Sue. I envision it to, you see a face, you see a picture, you can see that there's people participating.
And it's interactive.
It's a direct, yeah, it's a closed circuit. The cable would be able to see the person's image.
And it wouldn't be used as a matter of convenience, it would be used as a matter of need.
Necessity, yeah. So, but you're right, let's start with the Board of Selectmen and see what the appetite is and move from there.
Maybe addressing other committees, see if
But they
they're
have a
interested.
stipulation, it says, regulations, however, do require the CEO to fund remote participation for all public bodies, thus the CEO retains control over which bodies may be used for participation in the meetings. So there are quite a bit of regulations that go
Yeah,
along.
usually, because theoretically, it could affect the budget of the committee. So, what you normally, town policy says, the Board of Selectmen says we'll allow it, and then each board that wants to use it has to adopt it or not adopt it
Yeah,
as they
well,
say.
that's what it says here.
Yeah, because there is a budget cost if they, I don't think that much, but what they're basically saying is, if there's a cost, you have to bear it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's up, I'm assuming that it's really up to the members as well. If you're using your
Cell phone.
data,
Yeah.
that's,
Yep.
so.
But you can just-
Oh, it says right, because the Attorney General's office encourages members of public bodies to physically attend all meetings. There is only 5 permanent reasons for remote participation. 1, personal illness, personal disability, emergency, military service, and geographic distance.
Yeah.
So, don't participate.
Well, the
Geographic distance would be like somebody coming from Boston.
Boston.
That would,
Sue during tax season.
yeah, exactly.
She could Skype in and we'd be
Yeah.
happy with that.
Yeah.
If Mr. St. Ange is on the road, that's geographic distance, we're happy with that. Going to the Bruins game, no.
No,
Sorry about that, Mike.
It's okay.
Next meeting?
we'll just hold it pending,
Oh, yeah.
Can we take any action or just leave it rather than?
Well,
say
why don't we just table it
Right
until
now.
the selectmen review,
Yeah,
Tell us,
make a decision? Is that agreeable, Bradley?
I didn't hear that.
He just said table it.
Table it until the selectmen
Okay, I'll make a
review it.
motion to table if that's what you need.
Second.
That's what I was driving at.
But this pamphlet just about describes the whole thing.
Motion made and seconded that we table this pending the review and approval of Board of Selectmen. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Any other new business this evening? We have some meeting minutes to be approved, March 6th of 2019. And absent was Robert Ferrera and Jackie Stanley. Can I get a motion on the minutes for March 6th, 2019?
Make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor? Opposed? So voted.
They were very well written. Was looking at those minutes, before I came. They were very well written, very comprehensive, so I wanted to comment on that.
Kathy does a tremendous job. Minutes?
I think we should review those minutes before the budgets next year, especially the school. I think it gives a good refresher of what to be looking at.
That's what they're here for.
Suggestion.
That's what they're there for. Next meeting, do you have a date? We'll just hold it in advance.
I mean, if you want to set one, my suggestion was July 10th, I believe was a Wednesday.
July 10th?
That would be the end of when we could do it, because we can only do them through the 15th, and I know you meet on Wednesdays, but I figured 4th of July week is probably not a good week.
Right. No.
And having gone through the end of June, it'll give us clear numbers. So if we did it in June, we could do it in June, but we would probably have to add a little more money in case, our estimate was a little bit low. But doing it July 10th would give us the opportunity to have the final numbers. We know what we're doing. And we have the final number for you.
Sounds like a plan. Next meeting will be July 10th, 2019. Kathy will be in touch with Julie regarding the items on the agenda. Being no further,
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
motion made second to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.